Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we're talking about how to retire early. Fire, ladies and gentlemen, financial independence, retire early. You're in the right place. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream, where members with the icon is the only one that can be in the chat room. Everybody else, you can watch, but please share the videos because you never know. Information is key to you being successful. Now, let's get into this shortly. Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you once again for being here. But again, please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about during the course of this live stream, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. That would be greatly appreciated so the YouTube gods know that we're in the house and we're trying to help people. Because in case you're new here as well, this is the SSN Academy, SSN University. It's the No Guru Zone. You know what that means? No courses, no books, no webinars, no seminars. We have a chat room down here that you can ask questions, and we have individuals in the house who are entrepreneurs, investors, and CEOs. So once again, emerging millionaires, you're here, I'm here. We have people that can help you here. Now let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Jaway J is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He has the icon, of course, next to his name. He says his tagline this evening: hello, SSN Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. He received the notification and saw the trailer. Oh, yes. Let me know if you received the trailer, saw the trailer, received a notification, because you know YouTube's light on that with the SSN Nation. Jaway J, how to retire early is to invest in real estate. Jaway J has one of the keys already. And of course, a lot of people here have done real estate investments, and they are doing it the right way, meaning they didn't just buy a house, because that's a liability in reality. They bought property, and then they can sit back and receive revenue from that, called passive income in most cases. That's how you keep building your retirement, ladies and gentlemen. That's one way. We're going to talk about several others tonight. Charles is here. The emerging millionaire is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He too has the icon next to his name. He says, yo, I say, yo, what's up? Thank you so much for being here. Very, very happy to see you once again. And Charles also says, waiting for Eric. Yes, I was a little delayed today. Had to make it down to the post office because, once again, some other things you guys know, it's good to have your own business. And therefore, something needed to be mailed out today because of the holiday. So we had to get it out. And of course, you know, post offices are closing early these days. Anyhow, that's what happens when you are an entrepreneur, ladies and gentlemen. And look at here, we have Eddie Brown as a new member of the channel this evening. Thank you so much for that, Eddie Brown. I humbly appreciate you and your support financially. Very, very happy to see you. And I do know Eddie Brown's another investor in the house. I do know who he is. Yo, Eddie from Charles. That's right, showing some love. And yo, from Eddie, Jaway J says, welcome, Eddie. Thank you so much for that, Jaway J, showing some love. That's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. In case you're new here, is Brent going to be a member too? Charles. Eddie says yes. Well, very nice. I appreciate the support, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Now, here we go. Let's get into this. Welcome, Eddie, to the Millionaire Mindset Club. I like that. Thank you so much for saying that, Georges Charles. I'm not sure, says Eddie Brown. That's okay. I appreciate your support. You're here. But make sure everybody smash that like button. This the spot, fellas. Georges Charles giving nothing but love. Hey, they can determine if this is the spot for them. We're waiting on Eric. Okay. We got a new member, Eric. Yes, we do. Thank you so much, Eddie. Appreciate it. Victor Marrero is in the house. Another investor. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He too has the icon, and he says his tagline this evening: hello all, let's do this. And that's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. We make sure that you can do it, because when we start talking about real estate, like Jaway said, when we start saying these words, no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry to buy real estate that pays you, and those are assets because you're going to rent them out, right? You're not going to live there. You're going to rent them out. Let somebody else pay the bills for you. That is what you should be thinking about. That's part of early retirement, because the sooner you do that, the sooner you get into the FIRE program, or the SSN Nation program, rightfully said. That's what it really is, because until this FIRE stuff came out in the last few years, we were already talking about what to do. Eddie Brown, hello all. Again, Eddie Brown, thank you so much for becoming a member, and hello to you. Glad to see you in the house. Welcome, Eddie. He knows where money networking is. Yeah, I like to hear this. I love when we start talking about money. Victor, sup, bro? There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start this off. If you can't get into the chat room tonight, there's a reason. Only members with the icon can be in the chat room tonight. All right, it's that simple. You can become a member, or you can join us on Monday and Wednesday nights, and the chat room is open to everybody, and any other live stream. But on Wednesdays, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. So where am I going to go first? We're going to go with the number one thing. Top 10% of the wealthiest, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody in SSN Nation knows this, but you never know who's watching. Top 10% of the wealthiest own 89% of the stock market. Now, do you understand why they care about the stock market so much, and why you need to have your money in the stock market? You should always ride the backs of the wealthy. Don't let them block you out. If they're doing it, you need to be joining in. So this is so simple for everybody. Let me go here first. Let's go with, I talked about this on Monday very briefly, because I said, you know, a lot of people are self-employed. Did you understand that when you work for somebody else, you can only give so much into your 401k? When you work for yourself and you create a company 401k, you own the company. You also can be an employee of the company. So therefore, you can put money in as an individual into your 401k. You can max that out, and then the company can max out the 401k to their employees. So now you can damn near triple what you can put in, and you will see what I'm talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. We talk facts. We talk everything here, ladies and gentlemen. In case you're new here, we don't go with this somebody said. Just make sure you understand. Victor Marrero says, let's see. We're going to have a few things popping up here. Georges Charles, what's up, buddy? Brian P., welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Very happy to see you once again. Hey, Eric, I hope all is well with you. Yes, it is. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm kicking. And you guys are here too. And he says, hello, SSN family. Here we go. You guys know I talked about TD Ameritrade to make it very simple for you. I was talking about it on Monday. I've actually made videos about it, but it just dawned on me. I haven't made a video in about 2 years about how you can put money into your 401k, get it tax deferred, and that way you have money coming in later passively, because you could buy ETFs that give out dividends. You could be buying into your own 401k. You can be buying dividend stocks, 12, 13, 15, 17% annual return, and the money's churning, making money for you in your solo 401k. Now, just keep in mind, this is TD Ameritrade. They actually partnered up with Charles Schwab. So they changed it over to Charles Schwab. But I want to use this. I have a link down below in case anybody sees this in replay. There's a link down below to this page, because this explanation on what you can do makes this outstanding. One thing is, there's a lot of people running around in social media right now. You have your LLC or C Corp. You're the only person there. A solo 401k is designed, as they say, for self-employed or business owners with no full-time employees. Guess what, though? You, and if you're married, your spouse counts as employees. That's what makes this so cool. All right. That's the thing that makes this really, really cool, because I'm going to drop down further just so you can understand what we're talking about here. Look at this. You W-2 workers, you can't, you put in 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. They say, okay, that's a cap on your tax write-off, right? But look at this. The solo 401k, please notice this paragraph. When contributing as an employee, you are allowed up to $20,500 or 100% of compensation, whichever is less in salary deferrals for tax year 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have an LLC, then you may know that you actually get taxed twice because you have self-employment tax. So if you can write off $20,500 or 100% of your compensation, which is your salary, start thinking. And if you're 50 or over, add an additional 6.5, 6,500, that is, called a catch-up contribution, and you get up to $27,000. Now you understand the first part of financial independence. Not only could you have $27,000 in there the first year, if your company makes money, you have contributions, you can put it in, your salary is $27,000, $30,000, whatever the case may be. But remember, if you're doing 10, 15%, some people are like, Eric, why do you keep saying 15%? Why do you keep saying 16%? Okay, fine. You're new. We'll get you started here. Stocks, AGNC. That's right. It's a real estate investment trust. Real estate, like Jaway J was saying. So straight off the bat, you want 15% annual return? Go pull up AGNC. Just for starters. We have more, though. I'm just giving you some heads up. So that's why you always bring your pen, pad, and paper here, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the first thing. But notice this paragraph is so powerful because additionally, as the employer, you can make a profit sharing contribution up to 25%. Do you guys get that? Yes. Like I was telling you, you can write in and pay yourself based on business employer contribution 25% more. So you guys starting to add up to 27,000, 25%, another 7,000. Think about it. So by rights, you could have like $30,000 a year. Oh, but there's better than that. All right. There's more. There's more, ladies and gentlemen. When adding the employee and employer contributions together for the year, the maximum is 61 G's. Do you understand how the big boys work? So now they're earning 61 G's if you're making money, and it's earning 15%, let's just say, and it's compounding every month because the one I just gave you, AGNC, they're giving you dividends every month. That means if you rebuy your dividends, you're buying more shares. More shares means your next dividend payout is going to be higher than the previous one, and the next one's higher, and it keeps going because you're buying more shares. More shares means more payouts for your dividends. Okay. You guys on board yet? Now, if you're 50 or over, you can go up to 66,000 and 67.5. I thought it was 66, but 67.5 and 73.5 for 2023. Do you think in 10 years that if you're successful in business that you can't put that away? It's possible. It's possible. A lot of you right now make like $140,000, $150,000, $200,000 by whether you're doing W-2 or whether you're doing your own business. But here's the kicker. Even if you have a W-2 at 150, this is what you should be doing. You should be running your LLC, opening it up, and then saying, okay, I'm going to match and contribute. Take out your W-2 money, put it into your company. Nothing wrong with that, right? Capital into your company. Think about it. I'm just giving you some updates, but go see your accountant. Go see your CPA. Go see the person, the professional. I don't have a license for it. I'm just giving you something you need to look into. All right. Now, there's one other part which I can't find it. Oh, wait, here it is. Here it is. Hold on a second. This is what I was talking about, just so you guys understand. This is calculated your business net profit minus half of your self-employment tax, remember? And the employer can contributions you made for yourself and other business owners and any participating spouses who are also in your solo 401k. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. The limit of compensation that can be factored into your tax contribution is $305,000. When you add your wife, you add your business partner, because your wife is your spouse, and then any partners. So it can have a max totals of 305 in 2022. It's already passed 330,000 in 2023. Do you understand how the big boys play? When everybody says, why don't these guys pay taxes? Well, let's just say this is the kind of stuff that they're doing. Now, you want to know something else? Can you borrow against your 401k? I'm just asking for a friend. Let's just say in 3 years, you're successful on the money-making front. You give yourself money for employment. You're able to put in 330 in a year. You have $1 million because you're buying dividends or stocks that give you a dividend. So you're going to be at $1 million. You're not going to care about getting $100,000, right? Your 401k is going to be giving you like $100,000 in 3 years. You guys understand that, right? At $15,000 over that in reality, 150. But the point I'm trying to make is, do you understand how it just keeps rolling at that point? And now it's tax deferred. And the other thing is, let's say you're not 67, 65, and you say, you know what? I just want to borrow against it. You can borrow against it. There may be a little fees, but when COVID happened, there was no fees to borrow, but there was a cap, like $100,000. But nonetheless, the point is, if you can borrow against your assets, because remember, you have stocks in here, you can leverage this. This is assets under management. So you don't have to go out here and ask anybody for a loan. You can produce it yourself, borrow against it, leverage it out. Now you don't have to worry about your credit. All right. How's that for starting off? How's that, Eddie? How's that for the men in the house, the new guys? All right. Let's see what everybody has to talk about here tonight. Victor Marrero, let me know what you're thinking about this, because, you know, this is his area of expertise as well. All right. Let me go here. Let's go. Hope all is well. Just came from Dominican. That's US. That's us. The spot to retire and be rich. That's for sure. That's for sure. Let's see. Victor Marrero is going to chime in this section. First, you need to find your FIRE retirement goal. He's got that exactly right, ladies and gentlemen. It's different for everyone. Yes, it is. You achieve FIRE by taking calculated financial risk and by starting investing early, i.e., same amount every month. Okay, Victor Marrero, I know what he's saying, but ladies and gentlemen, I just showed you, if you're out here successful right now and you're already making money, you can divert all your liabilities, you know, all that partying, all that spending on cars that go down in value, all this jewelry, if you're doing any of this stuff, all of that money could have been going into a 401k. Earning you money while you sleep every night, every week, every month. And then if you have a business on top of it that's generating revenue, you could be giving contributions into your own solo 401k. You, as the business owner, your spouse, and some of your family, you can partner up and say, hey, they're a partner in the business. That means your partner gets the same benefits. I'm just saying, go see a tax person. All right. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I know I kind of went kind of fast, but I just had to get that in real quick. All right. Now we're going to go even a little bit further as soon as I can find it. Professor Auntie Val is in the house. Speaking of entrepreneurs, she's here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with the icon next to her name. And she says, good evening, fam, with the heart, with the strength, with the cup of Java, otherwise known as Beachfront Java. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, got the notification and trailer. Thank you so much. That's 3 people that has let me know tonight. But I'm going to put this down here in the chat room. Beachfrontjava.com. Now, Professor Auntie Val, so kind to give SSN family members 10% off for life. How do you get 10% off for life? Well, first you have to order at beachfrontjava.com, but you have to put in the promo code SSN Lifestyle after your first order. Then every order thereafter, just keep in mind SSN Lifestyle and the promo code. You will have 10% off from every order. And it's not just any old coffee, it's premium blend whole beans. But wait, I have more. Whole beans from Africa, Indonesia, Peru, Honduras, just for starters. And it comes in 1 pound bags, 4 pound, 5 pound. I don't know exactly. She has so many different pounds of bags. And then some of you go, Eric, I don't want to do whole bean. I want fine ground. She has that too. Some of you are going, I want espresso, which is fine ground. She has that. Some of you want drip ground, regular coffee. She has that too. Some of you are going, Eric, forget all that. I got a Keurig. She has that too. She has the K-Cups. So no excuse. And later this year, tea. That's right. The Wellness Center is what she's starting out. So go show some love. It's our own Professor Auntie Val and her family has started the Beachfront Java business. Eddie Brown says, sounds great, Eric. Thank you so much, Eddie Brown. And Andreen Miller's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with the icon next to her name. And she's the one responsible for me always remembering SSN Academy, SSN University, SSN Nation, the No Guru Zone. All you have to do is ask questions here in our house. We don't charge you for that. That's right. We don't even have any of those what you call mentoring programs. None of that stuff. You can always hit me up with an email, support@stopstrugglingnow.com. Why? Because we make money, ladies and gentlemen. You don't need to send me your money because your hard-earned money could be used for you to create wealth and retire earlier. So why are you going to send us thousands of dollars when you don't have to, or hundreds of dollars? You could be putting it into a vehicle right now that 10 years from now is generating thousands of dollars annually or per month. So it's up to you. How are y'all all doing? We're doing well. Very nice to see you, Andreen Miller. Once again, long time no see exactly, but I'm very happy that you're in the house tonight. This is great. All right. Now we're going to keep it moving a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Because I'm not going to be on too long. I got to admit there's something that happened because I'm going to start sweating and melting pretty soon because the AC's off. It started leaking. So that means, 2 or 3 days and it's a holiday weekend. Crazy stuff. But that's what happens when you have homes that start being over 10 years old. You guys know how this works. So it starts leaking, turns off. It's crazy. So I'm going to start melting. But anyhow, I'm still not leaving. The show must go on. Let's go to it. Now, how long have we been doing this so far? It's only been 15, 20 minutes. So we can continue on. Now, I'm going to go over here to Schwab. And by the way, that TD, I wanted everybody to see that because down below, you can go directly to this article below the video. You can go get this. So this will help you understand because the next page I'm going to show you is actually Schwab's page. And some of you may be thinking, how much is this going to cost me, Eric, if I decide to do this, right? So I'm going to show you Schwab's page because they talk about what TD was talking about, but this is going to get you into a little bit different area and not really be as detailed as TD. All right. So look at this. If you go with Charles Schwab, monthly service fees, zero account to open or maintenance fees. All right. Notice there's a 1. So you got to check that out. Commissions, 0 for equity trades, 0 for the ETFs. ETFs are things like VOO, VTG, QQQ for NASDAQ, right? Things like that. Those are ETFs. Now, we can get into some of that later. If you want to talk about an ETF, we talk about JEPI. That's JP Morgan. If you want to get 10% or more, 10.4, 10.3, 10.5, then you go JEPI. That's an ETF. JP Morgan, Chase, pretty safe. You want to go with another Chase, JEP as in Paul Q. You might be at 11%. with JEPQ. They give out dividends, ladies and gentlemen. $5.95, $6.05. It kind of fluctuated because it was going to be $6.25 for JEPI, but it's a little bit less than that. But nonetheless, that's per share annually is what they're going to be giving off roughly. But do your own research. Go look at it. You'll see it's going to be over 10%. Now, look at these fees, 000. What do I get with this individual 401k plan? Comes with a one-on-one investment help. Oh, my. Higher potential contribution limits than SEP, IRA, profit sharing plans. Okay, I won't get into this, but the point is zeros are good. Account pricing. There is no fee to open or maintain an account at Schwab. 0, 0, 0. Now, when you start doing over-the-counter stuff, though, that's where you got to pay for. There's going to be fees for over-the-counter. All right, I'm just going to tell you straight up. Now, who's eligible for the plan? Individual 401k is available to self-employed individuals and business owners, including sole proprietors. You hear that? Corporations, partnerships, tax-exempt organization with no employees other than a spouse. Do you guys hear me? You must have a minimum 5% business share to be eligible. See? Not even a significant portion of ownership, even a little measly 5%, and you can get into this individual plan. This is beautiful. All right. Tax advantages, they go over some. 401k plan, tax deductible, earnings grow tax deferred, assets are not taxed until they are withdrawn in retirement. Now, this is why you borrow. This is why the big boys borrow against their stocks, borrow against their holdings and assets, because you don't pay tax. Because now any money coming in, you repay what you borrowed. You're not going to pay tax. And we can get into this a little bit deeper, because if you actually are borrowing from the company, when the company gives you your salary back, that's paying back what you borrowed. So it doesn't count as a salary, which is kind of crazy. Victor Marrero knows what I'm talking about. He has business with JP Morgan. He knows that the executives do not disclose how much they get paid or any of their items. They don't say and tell their workers that, hey, we borrowed like $2 million, $500,000. They won't show it. I'm just saying. All right. If anybody works with banks or any industry, that's why they usually don't disclose what people borrow, because then people will start getting pissed. They'll be like, wait a minute. Did this say he borrowed like $3 million? What's his salary? And then they find out their salary is like $3.5-4 million. You're like, wait, how much tax do these guys pay? Oh, they paid like $20,000. And you're like, this is wrong. But here's the playbook, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you an idea. Get on board with your accountant, CPA, financial advisors. Talk to them. You're going to be shocked. You're going to be like, oh, my God, that's why you Not all 401k are eligible for loans. Exactly. Those that allow you will have strict repayment rules, yes. Plus, typically, you can only borrow up to 50% or 50K, whichever is less, which will be my last option. He's exactly right. You can borrow little increments, 50,000 up to 100,000. Generally, that's it. But that's enough, because remember, the idea is not to borrow it and go spend and buy liabilities. The idea is when you take it out, you're saying, I'm buying a business, existing business, not creating one, existing, because you know I have your return on investment, or I'm putting it into something I have a return on investment on. So then you're paying it back out of your return on investment. So that way you keep everything lined up nice and easy. Don't put yourself at risk. We're not advising somebody to do the unthinkable. Start going, hey, I have $1 million out there. I'm going to take out $400,000. Now you're going to have penalties. All right. Plus, you're going to have a tax situation occur for you as well. We don't want none of that. All right. Exactly. We don't want to touch it. We're only going to borrow small increments that we're going to use. Right now, you can do small increments. Let me give you an example. Right now, $50,000 is how much a pre-construction condo costs at Macau Gardens in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Now, I will say this. This would not be a good idea to do this, but the thing is, some people may, depending on what you got to pay, but there's no reason to do it. But I'm just using this example. If there was a condo for $50,000 that was already built, and you know you're going to have a return on your money, you should be going, okay, give me my $50,000 because I know I'm going to be making $20,000, $15,000, $10,000 this year. So I'll be paying that back, some of it back. Every year we have money coming in. So then that way you're making money, paying it back. Everything's good. That's all I'm going to say about that. Check with your tax accountant. Vanessa Comagate is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Another entrepreneur, inventor in the house, investor, and she's known here in these parts as the Seamless Genius. That's right. The Seamless Genius is here. I can tell you right now, she's doing the Airbnb of malls, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. Think about that for a second. Airbnb of malls. She figured out a little way to do it. That's why she's the Seamless Genius. And she has the icon next to her name. And she says, hey, boss and SSN fam, hope all is well. Thank you so much. Hope all is well with you. And thank you so much for being here tonight. And everybody, if in case you joined us late, please smash that like button. And that's so the YouTube guys know that you're here in this house. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. And don't worry if you missed this. I'm going to be dropping a video about this exact thing tomorrow, which will be a video instead of live. It's just going to be a video about the 401k. All right. Now we're going to keep going. It's not over because we got fire. You want to retire early? Okay. I hope I'm able to pull something up because let me check. You guys know I like Investopedia. You know I love Investopedia. So we're going to talk about that in a second. All right. Now, let's see what else we have. We have Professor Auntie Val saying, what's good, sis? To Vanessa Comagate. And here, we're going to go into another area. I'm going to go to Investopedia right now because a lot of people still are going, well, Eric, how's this going to help me? Because I don't really know how much I should be doing. Well, if you want to retire early, this is what you're going to have to do. All right. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit from where I wanted to go, but we're just going to go to Google. I'm going to go to retire early. Now, let's see if they're going to explain. I haven't looked at this yet, but this is where I always go. All right. Independence, financial independence, retire early is the FIRE movement. Movement of people devoted to a program of extreme savings and investment that aims to allow them to retire far earlier than traditional budgets and retirement plans and permit. Very nice. Let me see if they give us some numbers because I know what most of the numbers are. But here's what I'm looking for right here. Here's what I'm looking for. Where was it? They started saying it. Did I skip down? Here it is. I saw 70%. Let's see. Here we go. 70%. In recent years, have embraced pursuing FIRE. All right, here it goes. Proponents of the extreme saving lifestyle remain in workforce for several years, saving up to 70% of your yearly income. Can you do that, ladies and gentlemen? In today's environment, it's very, very hard. But can you do that for 1 year? 70% of your income coming in, 70% of profits, and only live on 30%? 30% is what people use for house notes, rentals. When they start doing your car notes, which are all liabilities, again, 70%. Can you do that? When their savings reach approximately 30 times their yearly expenses, or roughly 1 million, they may quit their day jobs or retire from work altogether. That is true. Now, 70% is one way to look at it, just so you guys understand, right? If you can do that, that starts becoming very significant. If most people, well, not most, but if people are earning, I'll use round up to six figures, 100,000, are you able to save 70,000? You can understand real quickly that you would be in the FIRE program in less than 10 years, right? Because you're going to have purchased with that 70% nothing but assets, and the asset value appreciation going up, plus the asset value of the income you have coming in, that increases the overall worth of that asset. And here we go. Vanessa Comegate says she's a Emporium Beauty celebrating 1 year. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a little bit more, Vanessa Comegate, the seamless genius, she calls it Emporium Beauty celebrating 1 year. Is she has a kiosk inside of a mall in Southern California, and she rented out the kiosk. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. She rented out the kiosk, and from doing that, this is strange. From doing that, she's able to sit back, relax, goes down, and she's getting, it starts out $1,000 per month, $12,000 in 1 year. She just started almost a year ago. So in 1 year, she earned $12,000 without having to lift a finger other than collect checks. She did have to set up the actual initial kiosk and the deal, and she had to find 2 people in the beauty business, and they said they're going to sign on, and they're paying her, sharing it half and half apparently, and she gets 1,000. She's going with number 2. So after she does number 2, it could be $2,000 per month while she does nothing. They open and close, handle it, send her a check. Beautiful work if you can get it, and she's picking the right locations. So you got to love that. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? We have this situation. We know that I'm going to get cut off because, again, ladies and gentlemen, we are being monitored because I've always shared information to help people out over the years, and they're like, wait, he's not charging people, he's not siphoning off their money, he's actually trying to help people out here. We can't have it because he's giving us the information, not just some okie doke. I'm not going to get into who it's designed for or anything else because, again, I never looked at the Investopedia. I just Googled and saw it, so I just wanted to look and see if they actually had the 70. They at least have the 70% for the fire. So there goes one of the goals. Can you put in 70% of what you earn into an asset class? All right. Asset means we get paid back. Our money's working for us. All right. So some people may be here that's in real estate, or shall I say, who has bought a home and they're thinking, hey, my home is an asset. All right. Let me put it to you another way. If you don't have money coming in, what's your home? Because you have a liability. Most people are going to have, I don't even care if your home is free and clear. Some people are proud, right? They say, hey, I pay cash for my house. I'm like, that's great. But if you have no money coming in, you can't pay your real estate taxes. You can't pay your HOA if you live in an HOA. You can't pay your insurance premiums. So if you don't pay 2 out of those 3 things I mentioned, your home could be gone. If you don't pay your real estate taxes, it could be gone. If you don't pay your HOA could do a foreclosure on your property. I'm just saying, right? You don't pay the water bill, the electric bill, and all that stuff, it's gone. You're going to have liens on your property. So you have to understand, if you don't make any money and it's not making money for you, now that's why Airbnb became popular, because people were like, hey, I'm going to rent out my house. I live in California. I can charge $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 per room. Hell yeah. Let me rent out 2 of my 4 bedrooms and get in $3,000 per month and pay my mortgage. That's an asset. So just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. I hear you, Eric. Makes sense if you're using your 401k for another investment, but most folks not that disciplined. Exactly, Georges Charles. Exactly. Most folks are out here. Hey, I'm going to tell you, like my friends used to do. They'd be like a home equity line of credit when the homes exploded, just like recently they exploded. But back in 2005 and 6, home prices exploded, right? Every week it seemed like, you know, a house was 350,000, then it was 380, then it was 420. That's what it seemed like. So people were just doing this, and in a matter of a year or two, they were able to take out 100, 200,000. So now we're going on the motorcycle runs and out on the lake and out on the river, and these guys are coming up with the shiny new boats that they just got their home equity line of credit, and bought like motorcycles, RVs, boats. And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're just like, yeah, man, and I was like, that's not the way to do it. So when everything went downhill and home prices went down and they got the call saying, hey, we need you to pay this money because your house isn't worth 700,000 anymore. It's worth 500. And all of a sudden, all them little toys went right back. But meanwhile, they had IOUs. So that's what the problem is. You got to get things that pay you back, assets, if you're going to do this type of thing. No risk, no reward. But that's one way. You don't have to risk it, quite frankly. If you can do the fire, put in 70%, that's cool. Now, let me see if I can find something else regarding this, because I wanted to get into another aspect of the fire. Let me see if I can find that. Yes, I think I'll use the one at CNBC. Maybe. But you guys got to know this part first. All right, before we get any further into this. Here we go. Vanessa Comegate, Beachfront Java, baby. That's it exactly. That's what we do here. Beachfrontjava.com. Go over there and check it out. Congrats. And Auntie Val. Exactly. Oh, we even one night we came up with, we have conversation here, ladies and gentlemen. We came up, Seamless Genius Professor came up with that great idea because her coffees have different blends and they're from all over the world, right? Like, remember, I was saying Peru, Honduras, Indonesia, Africa. Can you imagine the country where the coffee comes from? And you actually have your Beachfront Java in an island nation. We'll use Punta Cana or Dominican Republic because that's what we love, right? And then have that place have the guys, we'll say guys because it could be women too, right? But you have people in the language where the coffee's from in the nice little beachfront outfits delivering the coffee and the brew, because you can go cold coffee, you can go hot coffee, right? They came up with a brilliant plan. I was like, you know what? I don't think anybody's doing that. That is one hell of a deal right there. We were just spitballing it. And again, I thought it's one hell of a deal. Vanessa, congratulations. Yes. Congratulations for that 1 year as well. All right. Congratulations. Vanessa, Jaway J says congratulations. There we go. All right. Thanks, fam. That's how we do it around here, showing the love. That's what we love. We love people that are trying to succeed. At least try. That's what you have to do. At least try, because there's no way you can stay up on with inflation. You cannot do it. You have to do what the big boys do. They buy real estate. They're in the financial industries. They buy stocks. They limit their liabilities. They limit their debt. That is what you have to do as well. Eddie Brown, the new member, says, congrats to Vanessa Comegate. Thank you so much for that as well, Eddie. I was supposed to do nails. LOL. It was a fluke, honestly. Exactly. But that's the thing, being flexible. See, that's the thing. She wasn't just going, we were talking about the nails. It wasn't just about nails. She switched up and said, well, the nails have a little bit of a problem. But what if I have the hair? I can't remember exactly what it is, but I think one has to do with hair and it has to do with the beauty industry on both sides. And she's like, wait a minute, I don't need to have somebody man this nail thing. I can have people sell their wares. So she twisted a little bit. That's why she's the Seamless Genius, because she twisted it from what she wanted to do and figured out, hey, wait a minute, I can make it work this way. That's why she is a genius. I got to give it to her. It was beautiful when she came up with it, because nobody could guess what she was able to do. All right. Also consider your double your money typically in 6 to 7 years due to compounding interest. Exactly, Victor Morrell. That's exactly what we're talking about, because you got your compounding going. Now, some people may realize you don't need a 401k, right? You might realize, you say, hey, Eric, I can just invest in the stock market straight up. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're going to pay 15% on your profits. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Wrap it in a 401k. Now, all of a sudden, it's tax deferred. You don't want to take it out anyhow. So why not have it tax deferred later? And it's wrapped in a 401k, which gives you a tax write-off, personally and business-wise. Win-win. All right. So Think about it, but he's right. That's what we're talking about. When we start doing 15%, you're doubling your money in 6-7 years. When you start thinking 13, 15, 17%, some people are like 17%. That's right. Okay, 17%. Go look at ORC. That's Orchard Capital. ORC. Oh, I'm sorry. It's higher than 17%. It's high risk, high reward. 17% dividends? Yes. 18% dividends? Yes. Go see ORC. Talk about not even taking 6 or 7 years. How about 5 to 6 years as long as ORC is giving out their dividends? I think they will. If they're still giving out dividends right now and interest rates are higher, the federal funds rate is high. Imagine when the Federal Reserve starts reducing their interest rates. Clearly, all that money that you put in at 18, 19, 20% will still be earning 18, 19, 20%. Think about it. You put in, I'll use a number, $10,000, and you get $2,000 annually from that. The next year it's $12,000. That $12,000 now starts getting similar type of returns. Now it's add on a $2,500 more than that. Now you're almost at $1,450 to $15,000 in 2 years. You'll be at $20,000 in 3. All right. That's how crazy this gets. Opportunities come along once in a lifetime. So look at the AGNC, look at the ORC. All right. I'm just saying off the top of your head. That's why you have your pen pad and pen papers ready. All right. Thank you. Showing the love in the house tonight. Thank you, Mr. Charles from Professor Auntie Val. Yes, the ladies are on fire. Come on now. The ladies are starting these business ventures. Where's the guys at? The guys are like, okay, Eric, we got you. We're doing that real estate investing in the Dominican Republic or around the world. We're getting our real estate. We're getting our short-term rentals ready. We're getting our long-term rentals ready. We got you, Eric. Don't worry. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Charles from Professor Auntie Val. Auntie Val, not a fluke, sis. You put yourself in place, then seize the opportunity. Exactly. She twisted it up. She had her mind set on doing a certain way. The college from the beauty school was going to do the nails. And then you ran into these, it wasn't so seamless. And then all of a sudden she said, you know what? I have this other business that I can do and it works better where somebody can just manage themselves, where I don't have to manage any employee or nothing. She came up with it. That's exactly right. Seize the opportunity, put herself in place, has some connections as well in her community. And she has the knowledge. And by the way, if you don't understand, Seamless Union, she used to sell at Disney. All right. Oh, and she was in the Shark Tank. She didn't air on TV. But again, this is her pedigree, ladies and gentlemen. She's been doing damage for a long time, as Professor Auntie Val and a lot of other people have been doing damage for a while. Vanessa Comagate and Auntie Val, none beloved, James Way. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with the icon next to his name. He brings his tagline this evening. Hello, all. Got the notification. I'm very happy to hear that. If you can read this before we get cut off, then you know the rent is too damn high. Exactly, James Way. We know the rent is too damn high. And that's another reason why you should be getting assets that pay you, ladies and gentlemen, not liabilities that suck the life out of you, because the price of living, the cost of living is going to increase. So therefore, you have to make your money work while you're sleeping. You have no choice. So you have real estate, you have financial investments, you have appreciation with real estate, you have appreciation with your financial investments, instruments such as stocks. So therefore, you win twice. Now you just need to leverage into the third one where you say, you know what, I get to raise my rent, charge more, because as each year the cost of living increases, nobody cares that you raised your rent 3 to 5%. Right? That's minor. So that means you get whatever percentage that comes out to. It could be 2%, 1%, 0.5%. Every year you're adding on your return. It keeps adding up until one day you wake up and you're sitting there saying, I only bought this stuff for like $100,000. I'm making like $60,000 a year, but it's 5 years later because we were able to increase our prices due to cost of living. Now you're making like 30%, 40%, 50% annually return on what your initial investment was. Hey, that's why you sign up now, ladies and gentlemen. He's got the notification. The rent is too damn high, but we're making sure we have assets so we can use our assets to pay the rent. George's Charles. Yes. Eric, what about the compound interest? You could be missing out if you get a 401k loan. Yes. Yes. No. You have a loan. You borrowed against it. You still are going to get your compound. It's still there. Remember, you didn't get a call. So that's one of the beauties of this, right? You still get the dividends are still in your account. The stocks and everything are still there. Your 401k is still generating. That's the beauty of it. It's not like cut off, so you're still getting it. Keep that in mind. It's only if you now look, if you're going to do this again, you're not out here buying liabilities. You're out here buying assets. So you're paying it back. So it's still generating money. The dividends are still rolling in. You just can't withdraw. Let's just say that 50,000. That means 50,000 is just going to be locked up. That's all it means. And if you don't pay them back, then they're going to take the 50,000. They're going to take some of your stuff, some of your stocks, right? So that means you're not going to be, that's gone. So just keep that in mind. But no, that's the beauty of it. That's why the big boys borrow against their stocks. Elon Musk borrowed against damn near 60% of his stocks. That's how he's able to buy all these companies at billions of dollars. He's been doing this for a long time. So that's how it works. He's still loving life. He doesn't need any cash. It's beautiful. That's what the big boys do. They all do the same thing. Vanessa Kamage in New York, there's a company bus that takes people around and serves tea and crumpets. I love it. I love it. I've never heard of it, never seen it, but that anything that's different in this day and age is kind of cool. There's going to be people thinking that's an adventure, right? I think so. Let's go. They call it tea around town. Very clever. Yes, very, very clever. Get to go see sights, go hang out. In New York, it should work beautifully, quite frankly. This is a great idea for tourists. Exactly, Vanessa Comingate. I like it. I like it. Tea and crumpets. Very clever. I'm going to look at that because by looking at other people's successful business models, that gives you ideas on what to do. All right. Here's something I need to talk about. Okay. The cruise on land. They're going to have a Zoom meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. Unfortunately, I don't have the link for it that I can share in the chat room. So Cruise on Land is in the Dominican Republic, the Punta Cana area of Dominican Republic. You can buy, okay, maybe I should start it a different way. You guys just search the channel. At one time, it was my #1 project. All right. Now, what you saw or see back then, there's been an alteration. Instead of only 12 buildings, they expanded. I believe they added 4 more. So I know there's 16 at least. They also have added a racetrack. They've also changed up some of the attractions that they have there and added some more. Remember, they have 100 attractions, so they initially didn't show all their attractions. Like the racetrack, that wasn't there. All right. So, and they also moved around and added more buildings, and they added a couple more floors. That's right. The buildings are higher. So the prices are still reasonable. So 62, 63,000 for a studio is still in play. A little over 100,000 for a 2-bedroom still in play. But now you can buy 2 studio units and have a lock off, a door in the middle. So you can count it as a 2-bedroom or 2 separate studio units, which gives you flexibility for renting. If you can get those 2 things for like 140, 130,000, that's a deal, right? That gives you flexibility. Now they have 3 bedrooms, which is a 2-bedroom and a studio. Again, flexibility. That might cost you like 180, 190. I don't know the numbers exactly, but if you want to know these numbers, go check it out on Wednesday. Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll probably figure out a way to drop a video or drop the link here tonight. You get to sightsee the area, eat, drink, and be merry. Can't have themes. Exactly. I can see that all the way around. That's beautiful. If people aren't familiar with New York, I can see where this could go on. They could have several buses, quite frankly, because you can say we're going to go up to Harlem. We're just going to stay in the financial district by Times Square area. We're going to go over here to the Bronx. We're going to go over here to Upper East Side. We're going to go down here to Chelsea or Soho and all these different areas. You can just hang out in those areas. That's how crazy this is. You could spend like hours. Oh, we're going to go down to the, where the towers used to be. You could be there for a while. You could go to Greenwich Village for a minute. I mean, you got all these places that people have seen on TV, movies, heard about. On just Manhattan itself, you could be all over. I mean, and spend all day. I mean, it's ridiculous. You can stop at 4 places and you'll be all day. Central Park in itself is another adventure. I mean, this is crazy. I like that idea for tourists. It's beautiful. Low impact. Walk, chill, ride, eat, drink, be merry, like Vanessa Cummingate was saying. I love it. I love it. Great idea. Great ideas. All right, here you go. You guys know I'm going to do a SSN lifestyle little break. We'll get back into how to retire early, but we're giving you some keys right now. All right, we gave you the keys, the stock market keys, the 401k keys, where you have your own business. You can start it up, and now you can actually match your business and pay more. I put in myself $8,000. I can say my business is going to match 20%, right? So that means another $1,600. So now I got $9,600 in this year. My business, I have a little tax write-off for the $1,600. And me personally, I'm going to have a tax write-off as well. It's my business. So again, we are winning. And it's tax deferred what we put in there while generating more money. And then if we did what I'm talking about here, I got 15% return. And I got at the end of the year, $9,600. We're almost going to have $1,500 the following year. That's a decent return, wouldn't you say? So we are going to have 10,000 in there. Even if you did 10 years, 10,000 is 100 G's. But remember that 100 G's is earning 10, 12, 15% each year more. So it's going to be well more than 100 G's. So I'm just saying that's one of the stepping stones. Real estate's the other, especially in this environment. Home prices haven't come down yet. Now, it's September in a few days. This was the season that I was thinking where we were going to be loving life, where things were going to be 40, 50, 60% off, somewhere between 40 and 60% off. It hasn't happened. Even with the 7.5, 7.6, 8% interest rates. Didn't happen. Can't believe it. But we're going to come back here shortly, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to play let me see. I need a video that's going to be a few minutes. So take a break. This video is going to be 3 minutes. All right. In fact, I'm going to play a video since we're talking about real estate. I talked about Cruise on Land. Let's see if I have a video about Larimar. All right. Or better yet, I'm going to go Vistacana, sports complex. This is always beautiful to see, right? Always beautiful to see the sports complex. People don't know what's at Vistacana and what they have planned there. So why not show that? All right. It's going to be a couple of minutes. 2 minutes, 43 seconds. Check this out. Courtesy of Caesar. Sports complex. You saw the skateboard park. You saw the sports bar and restaurant there. You saw the tennis courts, the basketball courts, the paddleball courts, the soccer field. You saw all that. You saw the pool there. Everybody who lives at Vista Cana gets to go use the sports complex. Marketing tools. How sweet is that? All right, welcome back. I'm having a little delay here, but it's all right. You get to sightsee the area and eat, drink, and be merry. They have themes. Love the way you think from Professor Auntie Val. Great minds think alike, sis. Exactly. Vanessa Comagate to Auntie Val. Vanessa, the one in New York, they only have one bus and the ladies dress up with hats like a tea party. Oh, I love it. I love it. This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. When we were talking about Beachfront Java and the girl and Vanessa Comagate and Auntie Val, and they were all talking about it. This is exactly the same type of thing, dressing up like the theme and that it should be, right? I love it. Beautiful. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that. Imagine doing it in the DR. Pick them up from the cruise ships. I agree with you. They got 5-6 hours, right? 5 hours for sure. Auntie Val can see a similar tour in the DR and in a coffee plantation like you do for wine. Dinner and coffee tour. Coffee aficionados would love it. And there's a lot of coffee aficionados. I like it. I like it. See all these ideas, ladies and gentlemen? Here's the beauty of it. Anybody can use these templates and say, you know what? That's a hell of an idea. Let me go start this. Just thinking out loud. I love it. I love it. I really do love it. That just gives another attraction. So everybody's thinking, I'm going to go to dune buggies. I'm going to go to the Blue Hole. This is Dominican Republic. I'm going to go with the, what do you call that? Jungle, the wire, you know, when everybody gets on those zip lines. That's standard issued all over the world nowadays. Hell, downtown Fremont Street has a zip line. That's how crazy this is, right? People are going to waterfalls, and now somebody's going, wait, did you just say we're going over to the coffee plantation? Hold on a second. We got some coffee tasting, cold and hot, different blends. Okay, I'm coming. We drink coffee. #1 beverage in the world, quite frankly. Starbucks isn't slowing down. Sure, they took off some of their Starbucks, but now they're adding more Starbucks back. It won't stop. And people are spending $8, $9 for Starbucks coffees. This is insane. I do my best thinking out loud. Exactly. Talking to yourself. I hear you. You guys can Google it. Yes, exactly. We will. We will Google it, but we're going to talk a little bit more. I sent you the link, Eric. Yes, thank you so much. I do have the link. That's why I played the video so I can share it. Everybody down in the chat room who's watching right now, this may not show on replay. There is the link. So copy that. Be prepared for tomorrow. If you're interested in investing in the Dominican Republic, specifically in Punta Cana region, where you can buy a studio unit for $63,000, We're fully furnished. It's going to be around 90,000 to 95,000. If you want a 2-bedroom for somewhere around 120,000 unfurnished, 125. I don't know the exact number right now, but that's how much a 2-bedroom is at Cruise on Land. We'll talk more tomorrow because I have questions. You're going to have to come on that. Now, you can also see my video about why Cruise on Land is no longer number one on my list before tomorrow, but these guys, we're going to find out the answers to the questions because, you know, they could return to the number one spot like they were before. We're just going to find out tomorrow for sure. All right. So the 31st, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here's the Zoom. It's on the screen. You can copy it in the chat room. Everybody on replay, you might be out of luck. All right. You might be out of luck. So you might want to send me an email at support@stopstrugglingnow.com if you want to get on that Zoom call at 3 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. They're going to be talking about Cruise on Land only. All right. They're going to be reps from there. I don't know exactly who's going to be on that call, but they're going to be answering questions. I like that Cruise on Land. It's going to be awesome. Yes, Vanessa Comagate, it will be awesome. The project itself is going to be outstanding. Cruise is my number one. Larimar is number two. Yep. That's his ranking. You gotta, everybody has their opinions and point of views. You got to respect that. All right. I see you, George, beating out Larimar, Vanessa Comagate. Yeah, they have an amusement park. Let's call it what it is. And they have 4-bedroom units and 3-bedroom and the lock-offs. Those are significant, even though you could have made a lock-off at Larimar, but all they had is 2 bedrooms and 1 bedrooms in Prime Towers. Then they have 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms in Horizon View at Larimar. But again, there's no amusement park at Larimar. The amusement park at Larimar is the beach clubs for the adults, right? That's what's going to be. Beach club, nightclubs, restaurant, bars, pubs, wellness center, even though they're going to have restaurant, nightclub, bars, and all that at the Cruise on Land as well. So, but that amusement park atmosphere will not be at Larimar, right? Larimar, they're using 150 acres for an 18-hole golf course with the clubhouse, and they're putting their villas on the golf course. And if you buy the lot at Larimar, then you have free membership to the golf club. So there's a trade-off. So which is going to be more important to you? Most people, if they have family or want to be in a family environment, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to get Cruise on Land. Other people who may be a little older, maybe not have children, they'll say, you know what, I can always go down to that amusement area, but I want to stay where I have a 1.8 mile boardwalk and shops, restaurants, supermarkets, same kind of thing, but it's a little different. 5-star hotels, whereas they have a hotel at Cruise on Land. They have man-made beaches as well. They have a agriculture place, which I love. That's beautiful at Cruise on Land, where you can actually go in and get some fruit. They actually have a store. That's cool. So, I mean, both of them are off the charts. Both are off the charts. It just depends on if you like the contracts. Like for me, it's all about contract. Larimar, no contract, no price increases. That's in their contract. $2 a square meter in their contract. So therefore, we know if we buy at 120, it's 120. Cruise on Land, it's not going to be 120 because they use the ICDV. I'm just letting you guys know. That's what we do here. You take your pick, but those are the differences. There's little subtle differences, but they're both going to be awesome. And they're both going to be in Verone, which makes it cool because you're going to be staying at one or the other. Somebody's going to be staying at Cruise on Land. They're going to go, hey, man, they got those beach clubs there. Let's go hang out. People are going to be staying at Larimar going, hey, man, they got that wave pool and all this stuff going on, the water park over there. Let's go over there. Not only do they have a water park, we're going to go do those race cars. We're going to go do some other amusement park stuff, roller coasters and all that over at Cruise on Land. It's going to be beautiful. That's why the land in Verone is going to go up. Just keep that in mind. It used to be cheap as hell. All right, here we go. Here we go. Tours are always popular. I saw that. I got kids at Vanessa, so Cruise reminds me of Disney World. There you go. That anytime and they're going to do a better amusement park than Kathmandu. Kathmandu is not going to have a racetrack. Kathmandu doesn't have a wave pool and a water park. I mean, seriously, just those two items alone beats Kathmandu as far as I'm concerned. They have roller coasters at Cruise on Land. We'll find out tomorrow. If they had a roller coaster, where's a roller coaster at? They have a baby one at Wonderland, but not at Kathmandu Park. So now in the whole region, you're going to have a roller coaster, a racetrack park. I don't know if it's going to be a go-kart or what kind of track it'll be. But the fact of the matter is, water park, casino, all this is on site at Cruise on Land. Casinos at Larimar as well. Casinos at Cana Rock because they have Hard Rock Hotel. I know there's a casino in Cap Cana. I just don't know where the other casinos are. But you don't have to leave if you're staying at these locations. And transportation is for both. I shouldn't be talking about this because I get excited about these two projects in itself, and I get excited about VistaCon. You guys know that. All right, here we go. This is exactly what's coming next. Auntie Val, this would be an awesome way to get your coffee brand out there. Yes, it would be. Time to hit up who's running the coffee and tea program in NYC. I was just saying, Vanessa Comagate at George's Charles. I couldn't agree more. Cruise on Land is a hit. Yes, it's going to be a hit. We agree 100%. It's going to be a hit, no doubt. Auntie Val, yep, you take samples home with you with info on how to order more, get consumers to purchase memories, not products. There we go. That's how it works. Professor dropping some knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, for marketing. Look up Tea Around Town, boss. The bus is amazing. I am going to pull it up because that's what we do here. Because people have ideas on other ideas. So now you're thinking right now, I'm sure there's some people right now, you entrepreneurs in the house are thinking, wait a minute, I live in Miami. That's not a bad idea. Wait a minute. I could do this in the DR. I can do this in Puerto Rico. I can do this in Cuba. I can do this in Asia. I never really thought about this. It works. Auntie Val, boom. Exactly. Tours are always popular. There's a reason for the memories. Exactly. That's why people go on them. You know, when they leave my tour bus, they will have gift bags. Vanessa Comagate, the LA connection. You know to always leave gift bags. There you go. She knows how to do it. Eric, people with kids spend more money. Yes, this is very, very true. Well, I shouldn't say very, very true. I don't know the numbers for real. What I do know is, so I'm going to give assessments if we have to. I have a different outlook. When I know we have Orlando that has the parks, it just doesn't have Disney, right? It has Universal, right? And it has what's the water park? It has the water park as well. But SeaWorld and all that. So there's a reason families are going to be there. There's a reason because Mickey has a brand. So that gives them LA and Orlando. Now, when you go from Orlando and LA using those, because they're in both markets, you just can't put those places in anywhere. It has to be in certain locations. So when they tried to put Six Flags, a competitor, for instance, they tried to be all over the place, right? Those parks don't work the same as Orlando. So that's why I can't compare anything to Orlando or Anaheim. I always compare, like, we're going to do if we had an amusement park and it wasn't at Cruise on Land, just like what's happening at Kathmandu. Kathmandu, as far as things have started so far, is a flop. And there's a reason, because it's not in Orlando and there's not another 3 theme parks standing by. So people aren't on the tour going, I'm going to go to Universal today. I'm going to go to Disney tomorrow, or one of the Disney parks tomorrow. And then I'm going to go to SeaWorld another day, or Legoland another day. They don't have that luxury. And when Cruise on Land comes and puts in their water parks and their racetrack and roller coasters, whatever else they do, there is no competitor. And the bad news is there's no other park. So there's no, like, people aren't coming in with families going, you know what, we're going to go over here to Cruise on Land today. Then we're going to go over here to Universal in 2 days. Then we're going to go another day. We're going to go over to SeaWorld. We don't have that luxury in the DR. So that's my only little drawback for comparisons, because we need traffic, which we're going to probably have in the DR. So far, everything's looking beautiful. And so that's the little thing. I can't really compare them apples to apples because I see it a little differently. Whether it works out or not, I think them being the only one and Kathmandu being whatever that is, still don't understand the Kathmandu thing. People who land are going to be saying, hey, okay, we heard about this amusement park. Let's go check it out. And families, here's the things that's going to occur. Some families are going to go, you know what? I don't want to go to the Cruise on Land. They're going to say, I'm going to Hard Rock. And they're going to be going, because at Hard Rock, we're going to spend $1,200 per night for our week. We're going to spend 9 G's, right? But we have a water park. We have a casino. We have nightclubs. We have unlimited restaurants, unlimited everything. So we're going to spend that money. The question is, how much is it going to cost at Cruise on Land, and what's going to be the difference? That's where I think the plays start coming in, because we're going to have all-inclusive resorts that do it. There's all-inclusive resorts that have water parks, right? They may not have a racetrack, but they have nightclubs, they have restaurants galore, and it's all you can eat. And so it changes things a little bit. So we're going to find out the impact, but I think there's going to be a huge impact with Cruise on Land, because you have the condos there, and you're going to have people staying at Larimar 2, and they're going to play off of each other. And I think people are going to be coming from Primaveros, from condo projects, and going, hey, let's go up here and check this out. That's what I think ultimately is going to happen. So we hope that's what's going to happen. I believe that's what's going to happen. But I just don't know if we're going to have the same type of effects that we would have at Disney. People are crazy. They're sitting at Disney at the gates and saying, I'm going to stay on Disney property. I'm going to stay in a studio unit. I'm going to pay $500 a night. Not even all inclusive, because we get to go see Mickey, Minnie, and all these guys 30 minutes before the park opens. But we're going to spend $500-$600 a night for a little 2-queen bed unit. I'm just like, this is crazy. We're going to go to Legoland, stay in a, again, 2-queen bed unit, and they're charging $900 a night. This is crazy, but it's because it's in Orlando. So the question is, this is untried and untested so far. We're going to find out. If anybody knows of a theme park that's in the Caribbean or the theme park that's on an island, let me know, because that way we can actually start comparing apples to apples. It's not Orlando, but we do have 60% of all vacationers landing by air in the Punta Cana region. And Cruise on Land is going to be talked about more than, you know what, that other one that's busted up. I just can't believe it. It's so disappointing, Kathmandu. I got to say that. All right. George's Charles, facts. That's how I generated so much money when I sold at Disney. Yes, Disney is its own animal. Disney is, okay, again, everybody, when you study businesses, there's a start, a middle, and the middle starts leveling off, and then it starts coming down. Disney, remember, Orlando started in 1970. They got to this point for 50 years. 50 years, the park has went from one little park to like 3 or 4. I don't even know how many parks they have over there now. You just can't go through Disney one day, right? You can't even do it 2 days. So they have all these extra parks, all these extra places to stay. That is something they built over 50 years. And Orlando accommodated them by saying, yes, we're going to ride into this sunset, because we're going to allow Universal to be here. We're going to allow SeaWorld. We're going to allow Legoland. We're going to allow all of these others, because now it's the ultimate family destination in the world. Because even if you don't like Disney, you love Universal. You're going to go to SeaWorld. You might go to Legoland. You're going to go to more than one park traditionally. So that's what makes Disney World and Orlando is very special. And that's what makes Anaheim very special as well. But Universal is not near Anaheim. Universal is in Burbank, pretty much. So I think it's Burbank. It's across town. It's like an hour away. LA traffic, hour away. It's not like over in Orlando where you just, 20 minutes outside of Orlando, you'll be at Universal. SeaWorld, the same thing. 15, 20 minutes, you'll be there. So it's a whole different animal. Orlando's special. So I can never compare any attractions like Orlando. Just can't be done. Eric made a good point. I don't think we will see another Cruise or Larimar in the Dominican. Oh yeah, that you can forget that. That's done. Can't happen. Just so people understand. Remember that idea that I'm having. I still have it, trying to get that storage location. Just like when that hurricane came through. Here's a perfect example. That hurricane came through the DR, what was it, a week ago, week and a half, 2 weeks ago? People for the condos, they were telling people with condos, remember these decks where people have 200, 300 square foot decks, 500 square foot decks, and they have their tables out there, their chairs, their all this paraphernalia that's out there on their decks. They were telling people, you better bring everything off your deck into your unit. Everybody that owned a condo. Everybody that owned villas, all they could tell them was nothing. They don't have a storage area. There's nothing they could do except, hey, go get a storage area, put your stuff in there. But then you'd have to have a huge storage area. That's why I wanted the storage yard, a U-Haul. That's why I wanted to do it, right? So over there by Primavera, yes, we found some acreage. Johan Confidante, the #1 premier lawyer, calls me up, says, Eric, the guy still has a couple of acres left. Not more than a couple, but he said a couple, but he has more. And so then I'm like, oh, so how much does he want for an acre? So I'm thinking the guy's going to say 150K, 100K, 200K max. He says 1.5 million. I'm just like, 3 years ago, they were selling him for 20 grand an acre or 10. What do you, I said, wait, are you talking about 1.5 million for all of what he has left? He's like, no, they know what's being built around there. So they want 1.5 million now for all their acres. I said, so let me get this straight. 3 acres, 4.5 million. He's like, that's what they're asking because they know somebody's going to come and build over there by Primavera. Las Recipal. They're going to build on that 4-lane road that they just built. So they're asking 1.5 and they're getting it because somebody already took off like 4 or 5 acres and they're building condos on it. I was like, this is crazy. Just like that. Something they were almost giving away 3 years ago. Now it's you got to pay too much. So now nobody's going to be able to get 4, 5, 600 acres in this area unless they're willing to spend, let's just say $1 million. So if you want 600 acres, which is like Larimar is like 647 acres. Cruise on Land is equally around. In fact, I don't know how many acres Cruise on Land has. They could have 700 for all I know. But I do know they have hundreds of acres. So they're going to be the only ones. Everybody else is going to have to spend like 200 or 300 million to acquire the same amount of acres these guys have. That's not even build costs yet. Hundreds of millions. Not to say it will never be done, but the price, the ROI is not there yet. You're going to have to do something in Cap Cana maybe, which would make sense because you can get that return for whatever you build in Cap Cana. It's already at $3,000 to $4,000 per square meter. In Punta Cana proper, it's only around $1,500 to $2,000 per square meter is the average cost. So buying an acre for $1 million is not worth it. Cap Cana might be worth it. So I'm just saying, this is what the problem is, and that's why nobody will be able to do it. That's not going to happen. Yep. Okay, Eric. Yeah, roller coaster, race car, ATV tracks. Yeah. See, and if they have ATVs, that takes away from the attractions where people have to spend like $99 a person for those ATVs that they have in the DR. People don't understand. It's costly. They charge like $69 for a kid 13 and under, $99 per person. and you're going on those buggies and things like that, it starts adding up. So now you have people saying, hey, come over here. And if it's included, I don't know. But we can talk about that tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time with Cruise on Land personnel. Find out if that's going to be additional cost, because traditionally when you start doing ATVs or go-karts and things like that, sometimes that's an additional cost. So we're going to find out, right? All right. Raydel Cabezas, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with the icon next to his name. And he's another investor. He owns at the beach. Penthouse units, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, SSN Nation. Watching and learning as always. Thank you so much, Raydel Cabezas, for being in the house. If you can't get in the chat room, there's a reason. Because on Wednesday nights, only members with the icon can get in the chat room. Everybody else has to watch. All right. So again, click the link. If you want to join us tomorrow talking about Cruise on Land, these guys are going to have a Zoom call and they're going to answer questions and talk about that project. Members of, I guess they may be of the development team or part of Cruise on Land. They're going to be there to answer questions. I'm going to be there because I have 4 bones to contend with these guys about. We're going to find out what's going to happen. Tomorrow, click the link for Cruise on the new Cruise Land reveal at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, I put it in the chat room. Once again, I'm going to put it in the chat room. Let me see. I did it again. But everybody, right now, click on the link if you're interested in Cruise on Land. This is no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Let me, I just can't even talk about Cruise on Land because when I'm about to say, Cruise on Land and Larimar are so similar except for the amusement park. Vista Cana is a whole different animal, but I'm about to say some things like, for instance, the amusement park idea, which you just saw, we're talking about ATVs are going to be there. We know that the little racetrack they have made is going to be there. We know they're talking about roller coasters. They're probably talking about other things. We know there's a water park there. Just for starters, that's enough for 2 days for kids, maybe even 3. All right. So that's enough. That's included when you stay there. When you rent from somebody's unit and they pay their $80 per month attraction fee, everybody, whether it's guests or owners, get to use all the attractions at no additional cost. We're going to find out tomorrow because some of these things I don't know if they're going to be included, but we'll find out. That is major. That is only exclusive to Cruise on Land. But when we start talking about casino, now we start bringing in Larimar. Larimar has a casino. Cruise on Land has a casino. Cana Rock properties are going to have a casino simply because they allow people, owners and guests to go into the Hard Rock Casino and nightclub and use one of the restaurants or 2. So that are some of the features. Vista Cana, no casino. Now, when we start talking about water park, Cruise on Land now has their new thing. They have wave pools. Those little beach clubs, they are going to have wave machines. So they're going to actually bring in up waves, apparently. It's happening. It's a thing. So they have wave pool now at Larimar. Vista Cana has 2 saltwater beaches. One is going to be the largest saltwater man-made beach. I don't even know. It's got to be in the Caribbean. At least. It's 70 square meters. The one at the beach is 35 square meters. Or metrics. 35,000 meters is at the beach downtown. 70,000 meters, double the size of the beach, is going to be the second man-made beach at Vista Cana. Now, there's going to be man-made beaches at Larimar, but they're not going to be that big. But Larimar has 1.8 miles of this stuff. Beaches, cabanas, water park, beach clubs, all this stuff. 1.8 miles in 7-8 years. But 1.8 miles, start marking it off, ladies and gentlemen. That's insane. That's what makes that special in itself. Then when we start talking about sports complexes, all 3 have sports complexes along with Atlantida. They have a sports complex. Same thing. So differences could be, you saw the sports complex for Vista Cana. Skateboard park, they're the only ones that have that. Everybody else has the traditionals. soccer field, baseball field. Well, I shouldn't say this. Larimar has soccer field, baseball field, tennis courts, paddleball courts, basketball courts. Cruise on Land, driving range, paddleball court, basketball court, tennis courts. All right. Then they have soccer field added now. Practice soccer field added now is at Cruise on Land. Vista Cana, soccer fields with stands. So again, these guys, there's nobody else that's going to have all these. All right. Restaurants, bars, nightclubs on site, all three of those, including Atlantida. Commercial zones where you have stores, shops, supermarkets, mini marts, pharmacies. Guess what? Larimar has all that. Vista Cana, Cruise on Land, and downtown. Obviously, downtown is going to have stores. They're going to have that, but downtown is a collective, not one project. It's all secure gated. So these are the type of things that get me excited. This is what gets me excited. All right. Kathmandu is a bust. Who says this? Let's see. Vanessa Kamagate. Yes, it looks like it's a bust to me. Nobody, I'm not happy. They're basically almost like, I'm just going to say 1995 when you would go to Universal or Disney and they used to have these, it's almost like Pirates of the Caribbean. You know how Pirates of the Caribbean, when they first started out in the 80s and 90s, you would drive through and then would have holograms and then they would start having, you know, lights and you could shoot at people, do all this stuff. That's what Kathmandu is in 2023. I'm like, what is this? You know, you're sitting in seats, the seats move and you now can shoot at things and got 3D glasses. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. But that's not like, people are into activities. You know, they want to be doing something. Roller coasters, outside movement. This thing about those, remember those jungle gym type things that they used to have, like Chuck E. Cheese used to have for the little kids, right? You go through the little maze and you jump in balls and, you know, climb stuff. That's what they have at Kathmandu. I was expecting more of amusement. I wasn't expecting more like stuff that's already been out for the last 30, 40 years. That's what I was disappointed about. Universal is in Burbank. There we go. Unicity and Disney is in Anaheim. That's right. That's 1.5 away from each other. Damn. It's taking longer now to get there. Sheesh. Well, I haven't been down in LA for quite a few years. So I guess the 405 and the 5 is, who knows what that's like. All I do know is if you thinking like after 3, well, forget that. Any time of day in the daytime, getting to one end to the other, she's saying 1.5 hours, not even 1 hour anymore. Damn, that's serious. I went out from Hollywood down to, I can't remember the name of it. I call it the Citadel, a little past the Citadel. And like 20 years ago, it took me 45 minutes. That's when I knew. I was like, I can never live in LA. I can only come visit. I can't live in LA. And that was only like 15 miles or something. It's crazy. I was like, this is insane. Raydell Cabe says, I like to see Kathmandu get traded and be remade in a better spot with more space. Kathmandu is incredibly disappointing. Raydell Cabe chimes in as well. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 110%. I thought it was something different. I thought it was an amusement park because it was the guys in Orlando actually has something to do with the production of Kathmandu Park. So I was expecting roller coasters. I was expecting more like, in fact, I was expecting more like a racetrack would be there or go-kart track or something that would make kids be like, yeah, we got to go there. This is going to be off the charts, you know? And like I say, my favorite thing is Tower of Terror, right? That's one of my favorite rides. I'm thinking something along these lines because it doesn't take much space. And so you could do that. I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. But no, not going to happen. Eric, see the new Primavera 4 Beach Club? Yes, we've seen it. Of course. We can't leave that out. We have the members here. They know all about it, Georges Charles. You want to know why they know? You know they know. You know why they know, because we have it. Well, we have a little bit of love for it. So I'll just show it real quick. In fact, I'll show a couple of them. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This is Primavera 4. No credit check, no qualifying. You want to buy a villa? How about a villa that's going to cost you about $1,150 per square meter, or $115 per square feet, $120 per square feet? A villa that has this right here. They just now finished, or getting it almost finished. This should be done in like a month. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's swimming in this thing in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
What do you
Check this out.
What do you mean?
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I had to show you that more than once, because the first one where you see the trucks and it turns sideways, that was 2 weeks ago. A week later, and I'm going to play this one. I'll be in the background. This right here. That was like 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. Here's what just happened in the last 4 or 5 days, what it looks like. This is what's happening. Outstanding. Outstanding. That's at Primavera 4. Get this, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe you can buy a 2-bedroom, 1-bath villa at Primavera 3 for like $80-some thousand? Some of you may say, Eric, what's the big deal? Yeah, okay, I get you. But here's the thing. We're going to, in fact, I got to have them on, because at one time, and I think it still is, you can own at Primavera 3, Primavera 4, Primavera Luxury, and you can use each other's amenities, you or your guest. That is what we talked about like 3 or 4 months ago. You can search the channel when we were talking about Primavera 4. We had representatives on. That is major. Because if I'm staying at Primavera Luxury and Primavera 3, and somebody says, hey, there's this man-made beach with a clubhouse, palapa trees, you can go hang out there, and it has a soccer field and a basketball court there too. The other places don't have the beach club, right? So that's an added bonus for your guests. You can say, hey, you can go use that, or you can use our basketball courts and all the amenities we have in our place. But that's the only place that has a clubhouse and beach club. So they're supposed to have a cafe, bar there, clubhouse. We're going to find out. But look how fast they're building this. This is awesome. So here's the other thing. If you can buy a 2,500 square foot villa for $305,000, which is what it is about now. That means we're only talking about still $100 per square foot would be $250. 110 would make it about $275. 120 makes it about $300,000. That's $120 a square foot. There's nobody building you any of that. Inside Vista Kana, you can have a 1,500 square foot property to 1,700 square foot property. That's going to cost you over $300,000, $330,000, $350,000. If you want to really start talking crazy, go over to Sabana inside Vista Kana and talk about their villas that are like 2,500, 2,600. They're at $500,000. All right. Their 4,000 square foot villas are at $700,000. That's the Equestrian Center. So this is what I'm saying. Primavera is like the deal of a deal, especially if you're in luxury 3, or why not just get something at Primavera 4? That's the one that has the actual beach club that you guys saw. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Put down 10%, 30% during construction, 60% on delivery, or 10% down, 40% during construction, or 50% on delivery. Or you do like at Sabana, 10% down, and they do owner financing at 9.7% for 8 years. Your place is going to be built in 2. At the end of the second year, you can go to the bank and be like, hey, man, my place is worth whatever. Clearly, the prices have increased. It could be you bought something at $400,000. It could be worth $550 or $600. You say, refi that for me. Either take it out and go buy another asset, or just refi the balance and get your interest rate down so that your monthly payment will be lower. And you'll have a longer time frame to pay it off. So that's an option you have at Sabana. Owner financing inside Vista Kana. All right. So hopefully you guys understand. Very powerful stuff. No credit check, no qualifying, owner financing. They want you to put 20% down at Sabana. Yes. But we already have a person that negotiated 10% down, and they agreed. Just to give you an idea. So if you say, hey, I can't put down 15%, nor can I do the 30, hey, make an offer. Say, okay, I can do 10% down, and I can do 30% during construction if you want to do a payment plan, and then 7 or 60% on delivery. Will you agree? Ask. All they can do is say no, and then you're back to their normal business, right? So just think about it. All right, so we'll see. Okay. Oh, cool. I'll be watching tomorrow. I like Cruise on Land. Yes, Vanessa Comagate. Here's one of my little pet peeves. You guys, I got pet peeves about a lot of things. So, yes, they're doing a Zoom. They control the Zoom. They are not coming on our channel and doing an open live. I like our channel with an open live so we can have people like you and anybody else that would have questions. They could ask the questions, because I don't know all the questions to answer. Everybody has a different perspective and different way of looking at it. So they might have a question I never thought of. So that's why I wanted them to come on mine. They said, no, we're going to do this Zoom. You can invite people to be on the Zoom. But I'm like, yeah, but you control the Zoom. I'm like, I want it open where people can see the chat in the chat room. People can see it on replay. You get more people to watch it ultimately. And by having more people ask questions, there's some people who are watching it and they get their question answered, which then makes people call up and say, yeah, I saw this. I want to buy. That's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. But they want to work it their way. They're not coming on the SSN Nation. So we're going to go to them tomorrow. All right. Yes, that doesn't sound like a major theme park at all. More like a glorified Chuck E. Cheese. Exactly. That's what it's like to me. That's exactly what it's like. Now, everybody may not have lived in certain areas, but Vanessa Comagate lives in LA. So I'm California kid too. Everything that's at Kathmandu Park, we had that like in 1990s. I'm just like, I don't 1980s, quite frankly. You know, I mean, at our state fair, you used to have those. Remember, okay, at the state fair in like the late 80s, they started having where it was light censored. So when you shoot at something, instead of having propellants or pellets or anything, they actually were using light to hit targets. That's what they have at freaking Kathmandu. That's what I'm like. This is not new. This is like some old school technology. And you guys made a park and turned buildings upside down. You have characters, yes. But people in America are just like when Disney went to China. When Disney went to China and Disney China showed up, and the people there are just like underwhelmed. They're like, we don't know who these characters are. Why are we going to go hang out at the Disney China when you're showing us Mickey Mouse and all this goofy stuff? We've never seen this stuff before. So that's why there was no well reception. People were like, we're never going there. That doesn't mean anything to us. So that's the same thing in Dominican Republic. Do the characters that people know from Europe that go to Kathmandu, those people that are in character, do people know what it is? That's the $1 million question. I don't think so. And I damn sure don't know what they are. So when people go there in character, I was like, what character? What? I was like, I have no clue. And then when you have these things that has been going on where I live for the last 40 years, I used to take my kids to everything that they have at Kathmandu Park. I mean, that's a long time ago, right? So that's what blows me away, except for the characters. But, you know, Chuck E. Cheese had Chuck E. Cheese. Come on now. Stop playing. Duster, what is that? Dave and Buster's. Elite, they have arcade games and they have games and arcade and all this stuff, right? So I'm like, so yeah, I'm harsh on Kathmandu Park because I was expecting something bigger. Eric, some folks deciding between a villa or condo. I got both, but any advice? Oh yeah, it all depends. Everybody, when it comes to real estate investing, everybody has their own way of investing. All right. Some people, like, again, we have a lot of people that invested with different things. I'll give some examples. Radel Cabezas is here tonight. I was interested in the beach. This is a man-made beach downtown, and it's beautiful. The buildings are beautiful. The beach is beautiful. All right. That project, when it first came out, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, that was talked about. Pictures, I mean, everything was beautiful. But because of the delays, they had to change things. But they still have that lagoon. They can still market the lagoon. There's nobody downtown that has that lagoon. The only thing, though, is here's the thing. It's a condo. You can only have X amount of people, and Radel Cabezas does have a penthouse. He can sleep like 12 people if he wants to. There's a market for sleeping 12 people. So here's the difference, though. That's at the beach. Most condo projects can't sleep 12 people. Club Cruise on Land, they're 4-bedroom. The 3-bedroom that has a penthouse. All right. You can probably sleep like 10 for sure. 12, maybe. It all depends. But the point is, that's the cutoff where there's hardly anybody that has units that can sleep 12. So you get a villa. There's not too many villas that are already 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, 4.5 baths. That is the cutoff. So if you want to get like 5 bedrooms, because you have a maid's quarters, which has its own shower, by the way, now all of a sudden you start getting into an arena where you're like, okay, now I have a place that can sleep 10 or 12. Or if you just have 4 bedrooms and then upstairs you have a loft, now you can have a sofa sleeper in there. And you have a sofa sleeper downstairs in the living room. If you have enough bathrooms, now you can actually sleep 12 people or 10 comfortably. But how much are you going to spend to do it? Right? Radel Cabezas, for instance. We also have Ariam Kaye. A few other people here that bought at the beach. They have penthouse units. They spent $300,000. Some people at the time said that's expensive. But here's the kicker. They weren't originally $300,000. It was in the twos. 280, I think it was. That was a lot considering 2 bedrooms or 126. So when you jumped into the 2s, it was like, wait, I can buy a villa for that. You could have bought a villa at the Oasis Del Lago for $275,000. That's now worth $600,000. That's in Vista Cana. Why in Vista Cana? So he's asking about villas. Villas. Okay, I got to get into this. Hold on. Does anybody know how much it costs to get into the park? Yeah. Here's the thing. Just as much as it costs to get into Universal. That's how crazy it is. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you guys a few things to think about when we start talking about. You guys have heard me talk about this just in case we have new people. When somebody says villa, I want to caution you on simple things. If I get a villa and I get a villa in Las Brisas area, for instance, Las Brisas area is like a residential neighborhood. They don't have amenities. They don't have the pool. So that means, do you have a pool in your backyard for your guest or yourself? They don't have restaurant, cafe. They don't have soccer field. They don't have basketball courts. They don't have a fitness center. They don't have anything, right? So if you have a villa and you pick a place that's just a residential neighborhood along with nothing else, now all of a sudden when the party of 8 comes, let's say, and my pet peeve is this all the time, when my friends would ever say, let's go as a group and we're going to get a house, and I'd be like, why? Because this is my thought process. I know you like going to the nightclubs. I know we're going to have one car. But are we going to have 2 or 3 cars? Because I know you're going to want to go to the nightclub. The time we touch down, you got to go drive to the nightclub. Okay, that means whoever doesn't go to the nightclub, you're at the villa. So now you're sitting there, it's like 10 at night, 9 at night, and you're like, yeah, I'm a little bit hungry. Now you're calling Uber just to go get something to eat, or I guess you can probably do DoorDash type stuff. But now you're calling people to get you food somehow, whether you're taking Uber or whether you're getting DoorDash or somebody delivering food. And then another maybe 2 or 3 people is like, hey, you know what? I think I want to go out here to the nightclub or go to the casino. Now all of a sudden the party's fractured, but now everybody has to get their own transportation. This is a villa just stranded in the middle of nowhere. Now, when you start talking about villas being built in like Larimar, eventually again, I shouldn't say this, but I have seen renderings for the villas at Cruise on Land, but they haven't announced it, all right? So we'll just wipe that out your memory. But when you start thinking about villas, Primavera, Cruise on Land, Vista Cana, now that same scenario, somebody says, hey, man, I need a little groceries. I'm a little hungry. I didn't get this at the store. No problem. All these places have commercial zones. You can go to the store. Somebody says, oh, I want to go play basketball right now. No problem. It's right here. Somebody says, hey, guys, we got like 4 or 5 of us. There's some dudes over here playing baseball or playing soccer. We want to go play soccer. Well, you guys want to go see if they want to get a game going. You got that. You don't have to leave. All these little things come into play. If you want to go to the nightclub at Larimar, Cruise on Land, Vista Cana doesn't have nightclubs so far. But you want to go to Cruise on Land and those type of places, your villa's there. Now somebody says, I want to go to a nightclub. Okay, see you. We know where the nightclub is. Somebody says, we're going to the bar. See you. We know where the bar is. Cool. And then when you say later, another hour or 2, hey, why don't we go join these guys? You don't have to go take an Uber ride. You just say, hey, we're just going to meet you. Hey, we're coming over. You guys still there? Whole different vibe when you're with a group of people than having a standalone villa. Now, when we start talking about condos work the same way. Do you want a condo that has nothing but a fitness center and a pool and security? Or do you want a condo in a complex that's going to have amenities? 2 things going on in condos limit you based on you're generally not going to have 8, 9, 10 people unless you have a 4-bedroom penthouse unit, right? And right now, 4-bedroom penthouse units are starting to be pricey. They're almost getting the cost as much as a villa. So this is why Primavera 4 is major, because they do have a beach club. They have a clubhouse. They have the basketball court. They have the soccer field. They have the children's playground area. The reason why I love Primavera properties is because Primavera 2 if you go study Primaveral 2, what they did was right now, they're still in pre-construction. They still have 3 pools already built. So people that live there now can use 3 pools on their property in different locations. They have a basketball court. At 2 or 3 of their pools, they already have barbecue area and a pergola type area there covering at their basketball court and at 2 of their pools. So that just gives you an idea that the community, when you're staying there, they can say, hey, I'm going to go play basketball. See ya. Okay, I'm going to go over here to this pool. Okay, see ya. The only thing they don't have at Primaveral 2 so far is a commercial area. But see, they changed it at Primaveral 3, 4, and 5, where they have villas. Well, 5, they're going to have some more stuff. I shouldn't even talk about 5. 5's coming too. But Primaveral 3, luxury, and 4 all in the same area, same road. So they're going to have their own mall. They're going to have their own commercial zone. So now everybody that has villas there, they can just walk up the street and go to some spots. They haven't said they're going to have nightclubs yet, though. All right. I'm just saying. There's no other villa project that I know that has all these amenities. Now, Cap Cana, on the other hand, that's a whole nother beast. All right. Nothing but good things. Whether you have a villa or condo in Cap Cana, you're walking distance to all kind of amenities. So those are the type of things. All right. So hopefully that helps people out. All right. Let's see what else we got. Villa. Does anyone know how much it costs to enter the park? Yes, I was looking it up. I'm about to tell you right now. Oh, that's another thing. It's disgusting. That's the thing. It's disgusting. I just don't. I shouldn't say bad things about these guys. But here it is. I'm going to show you something. Just what we're talking about. Look at what they're doing now. This is funny. They have no choice. Look at this. Is it going to come up? Oh, it's not on stream. Okay. Here we go. Right on cue. Buy one pass, get one free. That's how bad this is going. That just gives you an idea. And for what you're getting, it's kind of bizarre to me. Look at this. 120 for 13 plus years old, 85 and under. Family of 4. Now they have buy one, get one free, which they should have. But think about this on normal situations. 2 adults, 240. Let's just say the kids are 4 through 12. Another 170. That's $410 to go to Kathmandu. You want a VIP pass? Well, now you're talking. That's $450 for 2 adults, and 2 kids is another $280. You're damn near at $700 for this is insane. This is insane. VIP parking valid for first day of visit. Free locker valid for first day of visit. Exclusive box office check-in. In-park cash credit. $75 credit for adults, $20 for children. There's minimum high. Look at this. Okay. Unlimited is VIP. But I won't get into what they're Ether Quest, Legend of Desirada, Voyage of the Phantom Wanderer, Wheel of Infinite Wonder, High Point Adventure, which is their amusement park, Challenge of the not amusement park, their little Chuck E. Cheesy thing. I don't get it. Challenge of the Madge. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing these right. Quadragon, Maya and Kumar's Secret Ice Cave, Expedition Golf, One Time Golf. Expedition Golf, like I'm in Florida where they have all those golfing things, right? Transportation, Giant Swing. Oh, those. I know what that. Okay, unlimited, no biggie. Free locker spending, exclusive box office, whatever. Now, some people may not even understand what's at this park. Here goes the attractions. I'm just going to show you. This is why I'm like underwhelmed, but I'm just going to show you. I'm just like, is this for real? And I'm going to point some other things out for all of us that's been having fun for our entire life, it seems like. Circus Circus in Vegas, they have an adventure park up top. They have roller coasters, log flumes, which means it's you come down on the log and then the water starts going out. I mean, they have these same similar type of games that they have here at Kathmandu Park. But apparently, I'm not going to be able to get it up. Let's see. It's saying the SSL certificate is weird. Huh. Strange. Okay, here we go. Okay, Expedition Golf. Okay, we got mini golf. Fine. By the way, that's mini golf. That's fine. Legends of the Desert. This is a sit down. The chairs move. They give you special glasses. I don't get it. Ether Quest is like they use this little lantern and they're using lights to hit things. Again, I'm like, to me, that might be cool, but Challenge of the Mad Madge. Again, you got people shooting at the screen and it's a game for everybody in the room. I mean, I get it, but it's more like a kid's thing. Voyage of the Phantom Wanderer. Phantom. I thought that was Phantom, but it's not. Fathom Wanderer. I don't know what that is, but again, they're using this sites. Wheel of Infinite Wonder is like what you would get at one of those amusement things that come to your city briefly, where they always have the spider, and then it's like little kid stuff. Quadagon, there you go. That's that fitness thing. Mayan Kumar's Secret Ice Cave, another thing. And here we go, High Point Adventure. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm not impressed by this. I thought there was going to be I thought Kathmandu was going to actually have the roller coasters, the actual water parks, and I thought this was going to be a full-blown amusement park. I didn't realize this was going to be like almost like a kiddie park. I mean, that's what it seems like to me. I may be a bit harsh, but I used to be a aficionado. Every park not every. I tried to go to every park in the U.S. The Magic Mountains, the Universals, the Six Flags, or the Orlando Park, SeaWorlds. I was at every park you can think of, even stuff off the grid that used to be Great America in New Jersey is now Six Flags. Places like that. Anywhere there was a park, I was lucky enough to be going to parks. So that's why when I see this kind of stuff, is almost like when you go to a state fair. That's what this reminds me of. It's almost like state fair stuff. So I'm like disappointed. And it is what it is. All right. Now that I'm harsh on Kathmandu, let me know what you guys think, because that's all there is. There's nothing else there. And they're charging you $500-$600. I mean, you might as well go to Disney if you're going to be spending that kind of money. If you're going to be spending $500-$600 a day, show up at Disney and you get a hell of a lot more. All right. There we go. Oh, wow. They need to buy one, get one. Those prices are too high. Exactly. That's why they have the buy one, get one free now, because people aren't going. Yes, they're on YouTube. People can check it for themselves. There's not like a large amount of people coming there. And I know why, because if you have a family and they tell you it's going to cost you $500 just to get in, and then you look online and you see these things and you're just like, okay, kids, you really want to go over here? And kids, I'm pretty sure, have already went. If they're going here, they've probably already been to their state fair where they've been doing these little games, and they've already went to these little places that have these little rides that you go in circles on, and horses that go up and down and you go around, and the spider machine, and the one that keeps you up against the wall, all that stuff. So yeah, this is not cool. All right, let's see. Oh man, no coasters. Yeah, that's early 90s action. Exactly. For LA, especially if she's been in LA for a long time, this is what Disney used to do. Like in early 80s, Disney had this kind of stuff. That's what I'm saying. I mean, this is not like something new. Hell, if anybody missed out on the Star Trek at Las Vegas, oh my God, that was one of the best attractions ever. If you're a Star Trek person and you know how you have the people and the Star Trek gear, the doors, the sounds, everything that you see on the TV show and in the movie, they actually had. And these things that they have here where chairs move, air moves around, you can get moisture and different temperatures in the room and all that stuff. They actually had it. Chairs were moving up, back, around, side. Things are coming by you with the sound and all this. When you're going through, you're in the shuttle, it's going down and it's moving just like the screen is showing. That's like 1990s stuff. They had that at Las Vegas Hilton. And that was not even $100 a person. I mean, this is crazy. It was off the charts. Everybody was like acting like you're aboard the ship. The everything was moving. It was awesome. That was one of the best attractions I ever went on. It was awesome. All right, we're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting a little bit too hot. We don't have any air right now. So I got to run out and I got to get off of this right now. But thank you so much for being here. I haven't finished. We still have one last thing. I got a little sidetracked. So let's finish this up a little bit because I got to go over to, we want to retire early still so we can have a little bit of fun. We got sidetracked with some real estate. So let's go look at this real quick. This is from, well, there's two things I wanted to show, but no worries. Check out the video tomorrow that I'm going to drop more on this subject, and I'm going to get into all of these. I'm going to talk about that and some more. So here we go. Make it. This is CNBC. They started tracking people. So this is pretty beautiful. Check this out. 44% of savers in their 20s and 30s want to retire by 60. That's 30 years, and that's 40 years, but fewer on track. Of course, they're not on track. 73% of millennials live paycheck to paycheck. They can't be on track. Here we are. The 401k balance among Americans in their 30s is $18,400. According to the data provided by CNBC, Make It by Fidelity. The median retirement saver in their 20s has $5,400. Now, there's nothing wrong with having this as your retirement savings, but without that significant matter of buying assets. Buy assets that pay you. So then this way down the line, you are getting money for something you already invested in. So if that's your 401k that's earning 15% annually, great. If that's your 5,400 and it's earning 15% annually, great, do it. But the fact of the matter is that's money. What I mean by that, money devalues. Every time the Federal Reserve prints money, they devalue our currency. Therefore, just because I have my money locked in, earning this 15%, I can't make more than 15% because it's locked. But if I have an asset and the cost of living increases, I can adjust my prices higher because the cost of living is higher because of inflation. So now I get to keep my same profits. All right. So that is the difference. You got to keep that in mind. All right. The numbers don't paint the whole picture, of course. Some investors have multiple 401k accounts with multiple jobs. That's very true. Very true. Here we go. Think about your financial situation now. Is it exactly where you thought you'd be 5 or 10 years ago? Probably not. Similarly, you're not likely to get everything right when calculating what you'll need 30 years from now. That's correct. Because just like those people that retired in 2020 or 2000, and they said, hey, I got like $1 million. They didn't know that their insurance was going to go up that covers their house. They didn't know their real estate taxes were going to go up. They didn't know any of that was going up. So the only way they can even stay ahead is if they got another job, or because remember, they can only spend $50,000 a year and you're still going to be taxed on it. So that's less than $4,000 a month. So if they started saying, hey, I want to go travel, well, Travel back in the day when you can spend like $150, $200 round trip to damn near travel anywhere in the United States, any given time, them days are over. So you too want to go travel? Okay, it's $1,000 just to airfare with some luggage. And then you stay someplace. Now you spend another $1,000, $2,000 for a week. All of a sudden, that $4,000 or $5,000 that you were easily being able to travel around the world, them days are over. You can't do that no more. You got to spend more than $50,000 a year if you want to do that. So those are the type of things you have to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention to your savings rate. A general rule of thumb, save at least 15% of your gross. Remember, I'm going down the other side now. Remember, we started this off with 70%. Can you put 70% into investments? Be broke, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that. Can you be broke? Can you take 60, 70% of your income and put it into an asset and say, okay, I'm going to do this for about 4 or 5 years? Can you do that? Because if you're able to do that, then guess what? You're going to be on fire. Financial independence, retire early. You're there. Because if you're able to do something like you make, let's just say you make $80,000 a year after taxes, you have like 50, and then you say, I can put in $35,000 into an asset every year, 5 years. Simply 5 years, you already put out $150,000. What did you put it into? Did you put it into something that's giving you a 15, 20% return? Because that's the start. Annually. So now you're sitting there going, okay, Eric, that's $2,000 per month that I did 5 years worth of work because I said I'm going to do this 70% deal. All right. But you can go the other way where people say 20%. These guys are saying save 15% of your gross household income towards retirement. We're talking about escalating this because guess what? You have no choice. The cost of living over the next 10 years is going to increase dramatically. Don't be fooled. So this 15% thing is not going to work. You're going to have to put more into retirement accounts or into assets. You can't do this. Luckily for you guys are here in the SSN Nation. You might know somebody. You might say, I want to buy an apartment building. Or you know somebody that can handle the apartment building for you. Who's going to give you 2 million, 3 million, 4 million? Hardly anybody. But since you're here, if you have a project that has revenue coming in, remember, you can only buy commercial property based on the revenue. If you have a project that you have found, then you need to hit me up. Support at StopStrugglingNow.com. We have investors who are looking for property because they don't want 5% on their money. They want 12. They want 11. And they don't want to put it all in a brokerage account because they already have money in brokerage accounts. They want some money that they can give somebody, you know what, I want 12% interest only for a year. That's it. I'll give you the 2 million, but you're going to give me $240,000 this year. Does the project make $400,000 so you can afford to give me my 240? I'm going to fund you. But you come up in here talking about it only makes $300,000 NOI and you owe me 240? I'm not going to fund you. Not going to happen, right? Those are the type of things you have to think about. And you don't have to put down 25%. You don't have to have credit. The project or the commercial property speaks for itself. That's how you can jumpstart and leapfrog into the retirement game. Retire early. That's one way you can do it. All right. Give you a little story. Will, who's been on our channel that buys hotels, he spent literally 10 years. He used to tell me, he goes, Eric, I like the little deals. I like all the little money coming in. But he took 10 years before, maybe even longer, before he got his first hotel. Because he said, I want the big one. Because that's where you get the $20,000, $30,000 per month that comes in, right? So that's the thing right there that you have to think about. If you want to leapfrog this 15%, 70%, then you buy assets. That's what you do with this 15%. That's what you do with the 70%. Just buy assets. That should be the rule. All right. Check out our fidelity guidelines. And I will be talking about fidelity in tomorrow's video when I actually drop a video about this. The FIRE number, okay, multiply the annual income you hope to live on in retirement by 25. Here's the problem. somebody's going to retire. Okay, we have Victor Morero. He still might be here. He's a financial literate guy. He's going to retire this year. But let me ask you, would he be able to figure this out 20 years ago in 2003? Would he be able to figure out, okay, I'm going to times what I think I need by 25? That's going to be very hard to do. Because there is no way people would have been able to tell you, hey, man, your insurance premium where he lives in the state of Florida is going to be maybe $10,000 annually. Nobody's going to tell you your real estate property taxes could now be $7,000 to $10,000 annually. That wouldn't even be accounted for 20 years ago. Nobody would think, oh, I'm going to be paying like $1,700 to $2,000 per month just to live in my house. Nobody, and it's paid off. Never mind if I have a mortgage. Nobody would have calculated that. They'd be loving life. You bought your house pretty inexpensively. You wouldn't think nothing of it. But now, all of a sudden, the last 2 years, you're rocked. You're like, wait, I got to pay $15,000 a year, $20,000 a year just for maintaining this house. That would rock your financial plan. So 25 times, okay, we can say that, but just think about it. All right? Just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Use a retirement calculator. Again, in fact, I don't have this down below in the description. Everybody watching this right now, I'm going to put this in the chat box so you guys can pull this up so you can read it yourself. So I got you well-rounded tonight for your early retirement plan. We talked about the 401k. We talked about even just AGNC. I'll give you MVOs if you're still here. M as in Mary, V as in Victor, O as in Oscar. That's another stock that's going to be double-digit returns. That's a dividend investment stock right now. Keep in mind, any investments you make, you should always stay on top of them. Because sometimes companies do get into financial situations and then they say, you know what, we're going to cut our dividends. Just like IEP. They were at 30% because people started shorting their stocks. So they had to cut their dividends because 30% annual return was not going to happen. So now, even though they cut it, they're down to like 15%, which is still great. But the point is, you have to think about that. In the chat room, I have this article, Make It by CNBC for you. And tomorrow, a lot of you, I'm going to be adding Fidelity. So that's going to be included in tomorrow's video that I'm going to drop. And then at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, don't forget tomorrow, if you're interested in real estate, no qualifying, no investment, no qualifying, no credit check, no barriers to entry, pre-construction, Cruise on Land is one of the premier projects that's going to be built in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, live on a Zoom call. I'm going to put it in the chat room again. Everybody that watches replay, you will not find this down below in the description box. There's a reason. Let's see here. Here it is. There's a reason, because by the time the replay happens after 3 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, that Zoom call will be already done. So there's the link in the chat room for the Zoom call. Make sure you get it, because if you want to find out one of the best projects, pre-construction projects in, all of the Caribbean, quite frankly, you need to check it out. Also, Larimar is going to have some event. I don't know what the event is. Maybe it's groundbreaking. Maybe it's, I don't know. Some event on Saturday on the cliff. I don't know what it is. Then we're going to have some Larimar people hopefully come on next week. So we're going to have some of the best projects, developers, and people for the projects are going to be talking about two of the best projects in the Dominican Republic are going to be here within a week of each other. So that ought to be very interesting. Prices are still reasonable. Under $100,000, a one-bedroom at Larimar, $94,000. A studio at Cruise on Land, $62,000, $63,000. Prices are going up for both. Larimar, prices are going up 2.5% in October 1st. Just letting you know. And then 3 months thereafter, another 2.5. 3 months after that, 2.5. Cruise on Land, They have incremental as they open up additional phases. Prices are skyrocketing. George's Charles bought his 2-bedroom penthouse at Cruise on Land, $137,000. Fully furnished. That price is now $187,000 fully furnished. And they don't have any. I'm just saying. That ought to tell you all you need to know. Real estate helps you out greatly. Stay ahead of inflation. All right. Let's see. That's all we're going to talk about right now. So hopefully you guys can get on track relatively simple. You can get on track very easily because you know what to do now. You know, if you want to do 70%, you'll get there faster. Put 70% into assets. Stocks, real estate, you can just go to standby. Those will make it simple for you. Do not buy liabilities and say, you know what, we're on a budget for 5, 6, 7 years. That's all it takes. Then, if you don't want to do that on the stock side, then you can do the real estate side. Pre-construction, no credit check, no qualifying. When you make your payments monthly over the next 2 to 3 years or 18 months, 20 months, 36 months, whatever the time frame is, you have 0% interest, which is also good. Keep in mind, money is worth less over time. So even if you have another payment, you're paying, let's say your payment's $500, which most wouldn't be, but $750. Okay, $750 a month. $750 a month right now. A year from now, even though you still pay $750, inflation means you're not paying $750. Inflation could be 10%. You're really paying them $675. You, if you have assets, are making the $750 still, but the $750 is not the same. Not as much pressure. And then 2 years later, $750 is like almost paying $650, $625 in real terms, in 2025 money. So that's why you want assets, because you get to keep the same value, because you get to increase the price based on inflation. So you don't care. Now you're making more money. You're making another $140 per month from your business, but you're paying $750. So now it's a whole different ballgame. You're just like, yeah, send them their $750. I still have $140 profit. So those are the type of things that go off in your head. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's end this tonight. Show some love with Professor Auntie Val with beachfrontjava.com. You can be part of the revolution. She's helping people out. Later this year, she's going to have tea. And also, she has special blend, whole premium blend beans from those parts of the world that have bean making abilities. All right, they're special. Also, make sure you go to her website, beachfrontjava.com, put in SSN Lifestyle. Why? Because your next order, if you haven't ordered already, your next order, when you put in SSN Lifestyle, you're going to get 10% off, and you get 10% off all orders for life. She has Keurigs. She has whole beans. She has fine ground. She has drip ground. So that's something for everybody. Tea coming later this year. Awesome. So free shipping inside the United States to boot. What more can you ask for? Our own Professor Auntie Val. Show some love. beachfrontjava.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else, hopefully you'll see us on Friday night. We'll probably be talking about a little Cruise on Land. We'll probably be talking about a little bit more about real estate. And I'm going to be trying to get some footage of what's happening inside Vistacana. It's booming. Oh, it's beautiful inside Vistacana. So hopefully I'm going to be doing some drive-through videos so people can see, hey, I got that, I have that, I have that. And then we'll talk about Cruise on Land. I'll probably know. They were supposed to do Larimar on Friday, but now they're telling me it might be Saturday. But either way, I'm going to try and find out what they're doing at Larimar. So we'll be talking a little bit more real estate on Friday. We'll be talking about some new projects like Macau Hills, Macau Gardens. Avalon is also downtown as well. We're going to be talking about City Place. We're going to be talking about a few things. But of course, we'll be talking about money-making opportunities for everybody, whether it's business or something else. So hopefully you'll join us Friday night at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you so much for being here, everybody. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support. And remember, please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why we have to stay vigilant on our money making abilities, whether that's starting a business, a lemonade stand. If that means we're going to have to start making sales online. But remember, we're trying to keep profits and invest our profits wisely into assets. And there's a myriad of assets. You could buy a business. You just don't have to go with real estate. You don't have to go with stocks. You can buy into a business that's making money. All right. You have options that you can do. Yes, you can start a business as well. But the fact of the matter is, a lot less risk if I can invest some money into a business that's already generating income and I put my money in and they say, hey, Eric, here's a check this month. That's a lot more fun. So think of it in those terms. If you have disposable income that you can invest in, think about getting your 15% annual returns, 16% annual returns, 20% annual returns. Think about that. All right. So I gave you tonight, we just talked about the old standby, ORC, AGNC, MVO, NLY, ARR, same things I talked about on Monday were those. We'll talk about some other ones later on. Down JEPI, JEPQ, JEPI. We talked about all those. So think about it. So once again, make sure you stay out of trouble, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to be very, very hard out here over the next few years because the government's not changing their stance on spending money. They're not changing their stance on taxation. They're not changing their stance on property taxes, insurance companies, medical costs. They're not changing their stance on any of that. So we need people, hopefully, in our government that's going to say, you know what, we got to put caps. We got to do something, right? We got to get health care for everybody. So that would eliminate all that for Medicare. Then maybe they'll say, hey, we got to put caps on the insurance companies. They can't turn around and charge people $10,000 increase in their premiums. Maybe we got to get some sort of, they give them subsidies. Why not give individual subsidies that are out here hurting and working for their lives, right? Why not give the individual subsidies instead of the insurance company subsidies? Why not give the individual subsidies for their gas instead of giving the gas company subsidies while they're making all-time record high profits? See, there's a way we can do this, but we got to all work together. All right. So keep that in mind. There's got to be a goal for everybody to rise up and ride on that same luxury boat. Right. So with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.